Well, it's week 9 of the LCS with coverage brought to you by Alienware. Team Liquid is cemented in first place here on Sunday, and I think they already were. But either way, Jensen, it's got to feel good to know that there's a pretty decent couple game gap between you and the other teams.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good, but personally, I don't put too much weight on regular split. I mean, obviously, it's more important now with the new summer split format, but I don't know. I feel like generally, like the better teams, they still ramp up for playoffs. But yeah, it does feel nice to make
Well,
it with the best record we've ever had going first. Yeah.
well, the interesting thing to me is that it kind of feels as though this game just now against TSM was what I feel like a lot of people will say, like, okay, this cements TL as the best team going into playoffs. Not only by your score, but also with C9 kind of dropping down. So many people were saying, is it TL? Is it TSM? Is it TL? Is it TSM? So in your mind, does this sort of establish your TL is the better team going into playoffs?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of knew it beforehand anyways. Our practice has been going a lot better. We've had a lot better results, and I think TSM in general is just really, really overhyped by the community. Like it's just it's so insane to me. Like they're a good team, but they're not nearly as good as the Reddit community or Twitter community, whatever thinks they are.
What makes you say that? Just because I mean, it does feel as though this is a team that like kind of skyrocketed up. That they're probably second best, right?
Um, I don't know if they're second best. I mean, I guess C9 they shit on C9, but I think at the same time, C9 didn't play that well. I think by playoffs, C9 will be better than TSM, but yeah, they're probably the second best team right now. But just when I look at their games, like they have some good moments for sure, but I'm still not fully convinced.
Yeah. Do you? It sounds like you predict a C9. I'm guessing TL finals then over a TL TSM.
Yeah, for sure. That's the way I see it right now. I mean, maybe even FlyQuest over TSM, honestly, but it's hard to say.
What makes you? What in your opinion is the thing that solved TL's issues? Because I'm looking at over the course of the split, and it definitely feels like you guys are solidly the best team right now. And again, this game meant a lot in proving that. But just a short time ago, it felt as though TL was really struggling, even in the games that they won. So you said practice has been going a lot better, but like, what changed?
Um, I don't know, just a lot of small stuff, I guess. I mean, I think we were always a good team. I mean, we always had good moments in our games, but a lot of our games were just close because of certain things that went wrong, obviously. But I think we're just, more connected as a team, and I don't know, I just feel like we don't have like super clear weaknesses as a team anymore, which we did before, where we were, a bit lackluster in the early game or not forcing enough fights, objectives. But I think overall, right now, I think we're looking a lot better.
All right. Now, what do you think you guys will be able to show in a best of five? Is this a place where you think you'll be able to be even more dominant than you have in these best of ones? Because one of the things that people have criticized Gale for is being boring to watch, and that you guys don't have like a deep enough champ pool, or you don't play as many unique champions. So I'm kind of curious. Do you think that that could become like an issue at all in a best of five?
I mean, personally speaking, I'm feeling pretty confident. I have a few ideas as to like new champs I haven't played yet that I want to play for playoffs, or at least, try to make work. So I'm excited for that. But I mean, obviously, I can't reveal anything, but I don't. I think we're a lot more flexible than what teams or just the community in general think. We just kind of took the approach that like, keep it simple. No need to like risk these best of ones because the like I said, the summer split regular season is actually really important in terms of like seeding to go to Worlds and just have a good shot at playoffs. So that was the approach we took.
Yeah. I'm sorry I have to ask this, but it does feel like one of the big storylines for summer was Double Lift departing under maybe less than favorable terms to TSM. he, whether through hype for the video or through genuine feelings, said that he wanted to show TL that, you know, they had made a bad decision and he was better and everything was going to be better. But you did manage to 2-0 TSM. So does that play at all? Do you have any kind of like personal feelings about that, at least in relation to your former teammate?
No, not really, honestly. I mean, it's just Peter, right? He's gonna say something every time. I think it's cool to hype up the match, but I don't know. Didn't really think anything about it.
But I'm guessing, I think in the past, maybe you or one of your teammates has said it still feels really good to beat TSM. So I'm guessing that maybe it feels better to beat TSM than beating Peter or whatever. The TSM thing is still like a good feeling for you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, to me, it didn't really matter too much that Peter was on TSM. I didn't. It didn't even cross my mind, honestly. It was just, more so just for the storyline of TL versus TSM. But I guess it is a part of it in a sense. But I don't know. Didn't really think about it, to be
Yeah.
honest. I think the first time around, it had a lot more value in my mind before the match. But now it's kind of like in the past. It kind of feels like.
I know you mentioned that FlyQuest might come in above TSM, but as it stands right now, it's TL, C9, TSM. And it's just so funny to me that this year in particular, even despite what happened in spring, it still feels like the classic trio are showing up here at the end. What do you think it is that has allowed these three teams to just like consistently always be on top of the league?
Oh man, it's hard to say. I mean, we didn't have that much consistency last split, but if you ignore that part, then I think it's just individual players like have a lot of knowledge, like how to win games. Maybe I don't know. It's hard to say. I think just genuinely speaking, like the top three teams have always had probably like the better players of the league throughout history. So I think that plays a big factor. But other than that, I don't know. Maybe structure. I don't know. It's hard for me to really say.
Yeah. Well, final question on the TSM stuff here. I saw your tweet after the game, kind of calling out the folks who, as you said, overhyped the team, but you also kind of dismissed a lot of the praise that Bjergsen had been getting recently. He was and is, I think, a big candidate for MVP. Do you feel like he should be in the running for MVP after the split?
Honestly, probably not. I think he's a good player, but I think people overhyped his performance too much.
Right. Well, is there anything that you want to say to any of the fans out there as TL heads into playoffs?
Um, well, I hope the fans are more convinced after this regular season about our standing in LCS and to have more faith in us. And yeah, see you guys in playoffs.
So I have one extra thing I'm going to add in here,
Hmm.
just based off of what I've been hearing. It's interesting to me because I feel like you are frustrated that the fans were so critical of TL or like unconvinced with TL, but it's just very funny because I'm thinking back to our last interview where you were like, I don't even know how we won that game. We keep winning these games and they don't. So it's interesting because I know Brox seemed to have a little bit of resentment when I last interviewed him about the fact that people did not seem to want to give TL the credit that he thought was due. But in my mind, I always thought back to that time where it even seemed like you were unconvinced by TL's strength. So I don't know if like you just felt like people's doubt lasted way too long, or if you had more confidence than maybe you showed in that interview. I'm kind of curious.
Um, I guess like the whole criticism towards TL, like I kind of bought into the negativity a bit too much myself, but at the same time, our scrims weren't going well, and I could tell that we weren't super good as a team. We did have good moments, but I don't know, just lately it's been going a lot better for us as a team, like when it comes to practice and all that kind of stuff. So I think just, yeah, the past few weeks, I feel a lot more confident with how we've had been progressing as a team.
Well, regardless, you did finish with your best record ever, and undoubtedly the best team, at least in terms of standings going into playoffs. So I'm sure TL fans are probably going to be a little bit more confident, and maybe general LCS fans too. Again, thank you so much, Jensen, for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things League of Legends right here on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching that interview. I hope you enjoyed it and will consider subscribing to the channel. I've been trying to grow my subscribers recently, and if you are subscribed already, maybe you can click the bell, which is also pretty helpful for the stats, I guess. Either way, I also want to point out something really exciting, and I don't know if you guys are watching this on the 13th or later or before, but starting on the 13th of this month, Alienware is participating in Intel Gamer Days, which you can check out at alienware.com/Travis. There's a big banner up at the site. And in fact, in order to celebrate it, they're actually giving away an amazing setup, a powerful Intel PC, a 34-inch curved monitor, peripherals, a $300 Steam card, just everything you need to go get your gaming stuff set up. So either way, thank you so much to Alienware, and congratulations on your involvement, hopefully, in Intel Gamer Days whenever you click through. Maybe you'll win. Who knows?